to test that. To test that, I go one step here to Omuras. Am I really 100% neutral as a therapist? That's not bad, yeah? Because you might think you are. I will show you later how this goes. Yeah? To go back to the family therapy, as far as this is concerned, this is very important to ask questions. And that's not all. When you don't listen, the questions, they are going to waste. Yeah. So to listen, and that's important, to integrate the answers into their own session. To integrate their answers into their own session, because these answers, they're not in any good book in the world. Yeah, they're nowhere. And it's very important what I think is important and what I say, oh no, that is not important. So what we do is we test it. Is this information important? Because this has an impact on the client's life, on the client's root cause for problems. Or this has an impact on the solution. Because, you know, when everybody has a nose here, then I wouldn't say it's a symptom to have a nose in the face. That's normal. So I'm very careful with that. I'd like to test it to make sure, oh no, this is very important, even though I thought, oh yeah, come on, that's not a big thing. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's go back. Now we are asking questions, are dialoguing, we find out about the relationships and so on, about the relationship to the disease, and we ask questions, what do you think would you have to do to make it even worse? Because to the question, what do you think would you have to do to make it better? Almost nobody has an answer. Have you experienced that as well? But when you ask, what would you have to do, or what would have to happen to make it even worse? Then they give you all the solutions. Okay. The next thing is, it's part of this family therapy, totally different. The family dynamics, the family constellation. And in Germany, because of the war and other things that happen in almost every country, we had a big search for, or longing for healing. Longing for, how can I deal with guilt? How can I deal with innocence in face of the guilt? And so on, as you can imagine. Like almost every country. So, in your country, and I didn't know that before, I found that out in my researches, was a woman called Virginia Satir.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, I didn't know about her before. One of my colleagues in Germany, not everybody likes him, is Bert Hellinger. Did you ever hear of Bert Hellinger? Maybe you would say Bert Hellinger. No? That's good. That's what I hope. That's the new thing as well. Okay. So Bert Hellinger, I say it in German, Bert Hellinger, he was inspired by Virginia Satir, who I don't know, so we're quit. Yeah? Okay. And he did a lot of researches. He worked with groups, and he did a lot of family researches in family constellation. That means, how can a family member that you don't even know, you've never met this person in your life, influence you in your present life without you even realizing that? I know that the Hawaiians do things, but they're different. I've talked with a few Hawaiians. What Hellinger did, he, the patient, or the client in this case, he took persons out of this group, from here for example, and I say, okay, please you come and you stand there as me. And you come and I want you to stand here, for example, next to me, with face in this direction. You are my mother. You are my father, and so on. So what they did, these persons, they let somebody else go into this role of family members. And then these persons in these roles, they described how they feel. Oh, I feel like this. And then they say, oh, he always walked like this. That's amazing. Or something else. Even when somebody was lost or was not accepted in the family, or when they found out that they were adopted or something like that, or the father was not the father, and things like that. You can find this out in this family constellation. Because, and now we're going back to the beginning, the mental system is not only in the brain, it's everywhere. And every cell has receptors to get information. So once they went into this field, they call it the knowing field. As in, they know how they felt. Then you can sense how they felt. Okay. So what they found out, Lord Hellinger, he was very, very, at the beginning he was very, very strict, and how Germans can be, he was not very popular because of that. He was like this. It's easier for me to tell you like this, you know what I mean. But he gathered a group, a very, very good group of psychologists, psychiatrists around him. And they did a lot of researches. How a family disorder can create diseases. Mental illnesses can cause that somebody does suicide, commits suicide, or that you don't live your life without even knowing that. He found out that there is a special order in who is first, who follows, how there's an influence, and how it should be in the family system that everybody, even non-personal things like, for example, war, death, slavery, persecution, and so on, get their own rightful place within this system.